Zhimin, do you speak English? Okay, well, take a deep breath. My name's DC Woods, DS Isabel Gross, we're from Met Police, okay? We believe you're Zhimin Qian, okay? You're under arrest, you're going to be arrested for money laundering, section 329, proceeds of crime.
£17,000 every single month, just for rent. 2 watches, £120,000, a £25,000 Mercedes for her assistant, luxury hotels across Europe, Paris, Milan, Barcelona, all of it funded by 128,000 victims. Farmers who lost their land, taxi drivers who emptied their savings, retirees who invested their pensions. One couple lost everything: their retirement fund, their daughter's university money, gone. The woman who took it, she called herself the goddess of wealth, wore imperial robes at conferences, promised 300% returns, wanted the Dalai Lama to anoint her as divine. When British police kicked down the bedroom door of a York Airbnb, they found her under a red duvet, staring wide-eyed from behind thick glasses. On her laptop, £5 billion in Bitcoin, the largest cryptocurrency seizure in UK history. Her sentence, 11 years and 8 months. That's £428 million per year in prison. By the time you finish watching, you'll understand why 128,000 people fell for this, why she lived in luxury in London for 6 years while wanted in 2 countries, and why the British government might keep all £5 billion instead of giving it back to victims. This is Zhimin Qian, the woman who wanted to be a goddess, and the 128,000 people she destroyed. This case was sentenced a few weeks ago, November 2024, one of the biggest financial frauds in UK's history, and almost nobody is talking about it. If you want cases like this, the ones that slip through the cracks of mainstream media, the ones where the sentences are a complete joke, hit that subscribe button right now. We're building the UK's most informed organised crime community. Turn on notifications. What's coming next will make this case look small. Now let me take you back to where it began. China, 2014. Tianjin, China. 15 million people. 3 hours from Beijing. Zhimin Qian launched Tianjin Lantian Jerui Electronic Technology Company. Blue Sky Greet. The pitch? High-tech health products, cryptocurrency mining, the future of wellness and digital wealth. The returns she promised? Up to 300%. You invest £10,000, get back $30,000 in a year. Too good to be true. Obviously. But Chen had presentation. She hosted conferences at Beijing's Diaoyutai State Guest House, where presidents and prime ministers stay. She showed up wearing imperial robes, like Chinese royalty. She called herself the goddess of wealth, Kaishen Nushen, luxury cars, designer everything. Her sales teams projected success and legitimacy. Her victims, not Wall Street investors, ordinary people, farmers, butchers, taxi drivers, housewives, members of the judiciary, professionals, retirees. One Chinese couple lost their entire retirement fund and their daughter's college savings. Daily payouts kept it going. You invest £5,000. See £50 appear the next day, then 50 more, and more. It's working, you think. So you invest more. Tell your friends, your family. Classic Ponzi mechanics. Early investors paid with new investors' money. Between 2014 and 2017, 3 years, 128,000 victims. Every province in China, 40 billion yuan, approximately £4.6 billion. As money poured in, Chen converted portions into Bitcoin. Over 70,000 Bitcoin. Why? Difficult to trace. Not controlled by Chinese authorities. could be moved anywhere without physically transporting cash. Her exit strategy. By 2017, Chinese authorities were closing in. Qian was already wanted over 2 other scams. Time to run. 128,000 victims, more than Wembley Stadium capacity, aged 50 to 75, born in the 1950s, 60s, 70s. They grew up in a poor China, worked entire lives, saved every yuan, not for themselves, for their children, their grandchildren. In Chinese culture, generational wealth isn't optional, it's obligation. Qian weaponized that. She didn't just steal money, she stole futures. When the scheme collapsed, marriages destroyed. Some victims didn't survive the shame. Members of the judiciary fell for it, educated professionals. Because Qian understood social proof. Your neighbor invests, gets his payout. Your friend invests, gets his payout. Your brother-in-law buys a new car with returns. At what point do you become the fool for not investing? Ponzi schemes don't target stupidity, they target trust. While 128,000 people lost everything, Qian was planning her escape. 2017, the Chinese authorities were closing in. Victims filing complaints, pyramid collapsing. Qian crossed into Myanmar on a moped with a laptop containing over 70,000 Bitcoin, worth billions. Then flew to London. September 2017, Heathrow Airport, false passport from St. Kitts and Nevis, name Yadi Zhang. Not forged, this is real. St. Kitts and Nevis sells citizenship. Pay enough, get a passport, no questions, legal. How wealthy criminals disappear. Clean passport, no criminal record, no red flags. Britain rolled out the welcome mat. She settled in Hampstead Heath, recruited Jen Wen, who worked in a South London Chinese takeaway for £8 an hour. Suddenly, Wen's living in a £5 million mansion, driving a Mercedes, son in private school costing £6,000 per term. They rented a £17,000 per month mansion, £204,000 per year on rent, more than most British families earn in 5 years. Their cover story was international jewelry business. For a while, it worked. Qian traveled Europe, luxury hotels. 2 watches cost £120,000, tens of thousands on Harrods. Wen bought a £25,000 Mercedes. To keep living this lifestyle, convert Bitcoin into real assets, property, jewelry, cash. Qian attempted to purchase London properties valued at 4.5 million, 23.5 million, and 12.5 million pounds. That's where it unraveled. In 2018, Qian tried buying a £24 million Hampstead mansion, using £800,000 converted from Bitcoin. But know your customer questions stopped her. Where did this money come from? What's your source of income? Prove this wealth is legitimate. Qian couldn't answer. Property deal fell through, investigation triggered. October 2018. Officers raided their Hampstead home. £300,000 in cash and checks seized. Phones and laptops. They found a hand-drawn treasure map leading from Harrods to a safety deposit box. Inside, more encrypted devices. When investigators cracked the encryption, they thought the decimal point was wrong. 61,000 Bitcoin. At 2018 prices, hundreds of millions. Today, it's worth over £5 billion, the largest cryptocurrency seizure in UK history. But Qian had vanished. Police analysed seized devices, found Qian's notes about her grandiose plans. She wanted to meet a royal duke, hoped the Dalai Lama would anoint her as a reincarnated goddess. She dreamed of ruling Liberland as queen. Liberland, 7 square kilometre disputed land between Croatia and Serbia. A Czech libertarian claimed it in 2015. No country recognizes it, no government. Qian wanted to be its queen, had plans for a £5 million crown and scepter. Not just greed, full-blown delusion. But here's the twist. While planning her coronation, Jian Wen testified, Qian spent 20 hours a day in bed playing video games. Wen did all the work. Wen was convicted March 2024, jailed 6 years, 8 months for money laundering, £300 million worth of Bitcoin seized from her. But where was Qian? Trail went cold. Until March 2024. Detective Constable Joe Ryan detected activity on a cryptocurrency exchange. A wallet linked to Qian, unused since 2019. Someone moving Bitcoin, small amounts, testing waters. The exchange provided account holder details. Seng Hock Ling, Malaysian national, previous fraud conviction in Hong Kong 2015, living in Matlock, Derbyshire. Detectives put Ling under surveillance. Trail led north, York. Police identified Qian at a detached house. April 22, 2024. Time to move. Quick question. If you were Jian Wen, the takeaway worker, suddenly in a £5 million mansion, would you have asked questions? Or just enjoyed the money? Drop a comment. What happens next will make you rethink everything. Qian renting an Airbnb in a quiet York suburb. Plain street, detached house. Nothing suspicious. Inside was Britain's most wanted cryptocurrency fugitive. Police kicked open the bedroom door. Zhimin Qian, lying under a bright red duvet, struggling to put on her top, staring wide-eyed from behind thick glasses. Detective Constable Chris Woods. It's her. 7 years since fleeing China. 6 years since first UK raid. Millions spent on investigation. Ended with her under a red duvet, shocked they found her. £11 million in cash, gold and crypto seized. £62 million worth of cryptocurrency. Large quantity of cash. 2 false passports. Still running scams while hiding. Seng Hock Ling arrested simultaneously. 61,000 Bitcoin recovered. Largest confirmed cryptocurrency seizure worldwide. Currently worth £5 billion. More than some countries' GDP. More than many UK cities' budgets. Enough to fund NHS for days. Build multiple hospitals. Will Line, Met's head of economic and cybercrime. One of the largest and most complex economic crime investigations we have ever undertaken. 7 years. Cooperation between Met, NCA, Crown Prosecution Service, Chinese law enforcement. All to catch one woman who thought she could become a queen. September 2024. Southwark Crown Court. Zhimin Qian pleaded guilty to possessing and transferring criminal property. Evidence overwhelming. 61,000 Bitcoin. False passports, 7 years on run, £17,000 monthly lifestyle with no legitimate income. Seng Hock Ling pleaded guilty to money laundering. Helped transfer £2.5 million. November 12, 2024. Qian wept as Judge Sally-Ann Hales delivered sentence. You were the architect of this offending from inception to conclusion. The scale of your money laundering is unprecedented. Your motive was pure greed. You left China without a thought for people whose investments you stole and enjoyed a lavish lifestyle. You lied and schemed, seeking to benefit yourself. Zhimin Qian, 11 years and 8 months. Seng Hock Ling, 4 years and 11 months. The math, £5 billion stolen. 128,000 victims, 11 years, 8 months prison. UK system, serve half before release. Approximately 5 years, 10 months actual time. For £5 billion, £428 million per year in prison, or £1.17 million per day. One Chinese couple lost retirement and daughter's college savings. Farmers, butchers, taxi drivers, housewives who'll never recover. Losses that destroyed marriages and families. Qian, out in 5 to 6 years, early 50s. But here's what makes this more infuriating. That £5 billion in seized Bitcoin. Tug-of-war between UK government and China, both claiming it. Victims' advocates. Bitcoin belongs to defrauded investors. Treasury officials. They floated retaining it for Britain's public finances. The UK government wants to keep the Bitcoin instead of returning it to victims. Chancellor Rachel Reeves eyeing £5 billion to plug budget holes. Civil proceedings underway to determine distribution. Could take years. Many victims paid regional promoters, not Qian directly, paid in fiat, not crypto. The question: victims paid yuan in 2015, converted to Bitcoin. Bitcoin appreciated 100 times. Do they get original yuan or appreciated Bitcoin value? While lawyers get rich arguing, victims wait. Over 80 people convicted in China, masterminds, regional promoters, salespeople, all serving time in Chinese prisons under harsher conditions than UK. But Qian, the architect, got 11 years in Britain and will serve 6. Will Line. Organized crime groups use cryptocurrency to move, hide, and invest profits of serious crime. But every crypto transaction leaves a trace. True. But if punishment for getting caught is 6 years for £5 billion, what's the deterrent? Should the UK government keep the £5 billion to plug budget holes? Or should it all go back to 128,000 victims? Comment government or victims. This sets a precedent for every cryptocurrency seizure going forward. If you think this is outrageous, wait until next week's case. Zhimin Qian is serving her sentence at HMP Bronzefield, Surrey. By 2030, likely released. Still in her 50s. Still with cryptocurrency connections. Still with hidden assets investigators haven't found. Cryptocurrency is more widespread now, more complex, more difficult to trace. Qian's fall from financial visionary to convicted fraudster marks one of recent financial crime history's most dramatic turns. But for 128,000 Chinese victims, justice hasn't been served. Farmers who lost land, taxi drivers who lost savings, retirees who lost pensions, parents who lost children's education funds, still waiting for compensation. A stark reminder that greed and deception hide behind digital wealth's glitter. The goddess of wealth was never divine, just another criminal who got caught and barely punished. While she wore imperial robes and dreamed of being queen, 128,000 people lost everything. If this made you angry, and it should, here's what to do. Share this video. Most people have no idea this happened. Mainstream media covered it one day and moved on. Subscribe and turn on notifications. We're covering UK organised crime cases that matter, real victims and joke sentences. While she planned her coronation, 128,000 people lost their futures.